Welcome back to the show. My name is Charles Shamry. I belong to the New Horizons Toastmasters Club in Tualatin, Oregon. If you're looking for a club, we invite you. And today on the show we have here Brad Clark. He's here to share his story, his experience, or at least his book, There's Only One You. There's Only the One You. Welcome, Brad.
Hey, thanks,
Welcome
Charles.
to the show here.
Nice to meet you in person. I've
Yes.
enjoyed watching you on TV Toastmasters.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nice to have you.
Thanks. Yeah.
So who is Brad Clark?
Well, that's me. I'm right here. I enjoy speaking. It's one of my passions. I think it's really important to follow your passions, do what you love. One thing I really love is speaking. So I've been speaking, trying to entertain people pretty much my whole life. I won the Best Sense of Humor Award in the 6th grade.
Oh.
And I've been trying to get people to laugh, get in front of audiences ever since. As a kid, I'd play all kinds of sports out on the street with all the neighbor kids. But I also really enjoy just grabbing a stick or something and being a commentator also. So I love speaking. Recently, I've been doing some speaking with Portland Story Theater. It's a local organization that helps people tell their authentic stories. And I've done that about 5 or 6 times. Really enjoy that. And I'm also a member of Toastmasters, the Speaking Professionals Club. Mm-hmm. So that's a great club. Really enjoy that. And also my second passion is art. I'm an artist. I like creating visual art, and I'm a painter and love doing that.
Great. And I like you sharing your background as far as living in a big neighborhood. I had a lot of friends and a lot of big community too, playing all different types of sports, right? You played a lot of different sports?
Yeah, we played, everything. We'd play baseball, football, basketball.
Great.
We'd have fights with the olives and the olive trees and walnuts, and we did it all. We played outside back in the day, we didn't, and no cell phones, and we didn't carry one of those bottles of water with us everywhere either. We just drank out of the hose.
That's great. I was looking for the comedic side too, because you were a comedian for a time too.
Yeah, I've done some with the speaking, a little bit of acting, and I got roped into doing some TV commercials back in the day when I had hair, and done some stand-up comedy even. Yeah, all kinds of fun stuff.
Great, great. So how long have you been drawing and painting?
Oh boy, my whole life really. My mom is an artist, and my grandmother and even my great-grandmother were all artists. My grandma especially was pretty well known down in Southern California in the Mojave Desert area. She taught and exhibited quite a bit. So I would go visit her, and they would never give me coloring books. They would just give me blank paper and lots of encouragement. And that's how I learned. Yeah, so I've been really drawing, painting my whole life, but I'd say professionally for about the last 10 years or so.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What mediums do you work in, and what are some past works or projects have you worked on?
Oh boy, I like all kinds of stuff. I'm real a visual learner. I finally figured that out about myself. I like colors and I like highlighting everything. So everything's about art and creating things. I even organized my neighbors in my neighborhood, and we painted the intersection. It's kind of cool. In Portland, there's this city repair, and they call it community building, and you can bring people together. So I organized that. I've done a menu board at the local coffee shop, the lettering. What else? Just all kinds of painting, taking courses and things like that.
Okay, great. Let's get into the book here. What's this book about?
This is a fun, colorful children's book. There's Only One You, and it's designed to encourage kids to do what they love and realize they're special, unique, one of a kind. We need what you've got. We need what you'll do. No one can do the things you can do. And so we need that from kids, and also, just to do what you love and, embrace your uniqueness.
Great. I love that, because I preach. If anyone knows me, I preach about doing what you love to do. So you're just preaching to the choir here.
Awesome, yeah.
So I appreciate that. Where did you hear the message about this book? Or where did this message come from in writing this book?
Yeah, growing up, my mom always told me I was special and unique, and I could do whatever I wanted when I grew up. I just wish she would have been more specific. I'm still trying to figure that out. So my mom was really encouraging. She always said that. I think it's a really important message for kids to hear. And then I remember growing up watching Mr. Rogers, and just his nice, sweet, encouraging message that you're special and unique and valuable just the way you are. So I wanted to get that out in kind of my own style in this book. I've had some reviews, and people say that it's sort of a Mr. Rogers message in a Dr. Seuss style. So I really like that.
Great. And so you wrote and illustrated this book. Kind of walk us through the process.
Yeah, sure.
of
I
that.
did the whole thing. I drew all the pictures, just did hundreds and hundreds of sketches, and with pencil, and then I inked them, and then added color to those with colored pencils or watercolor, and then I painted all the background separately with acrylic paint. This was my first experience, and I guess I like to just try to dive into things. A lot of times I get this paralysis, by over-analysis, trying to figure it all out. But in this case, I just plowed ahead and figured it out, and then I had the art and the sketches and the drawings, and then I had a guy merge them on a computer. Is basically how it was produced, and then I had to figure out how to get it all published and put together. Yeah.
Great. So I noticed, I was looking on Facebook, and you have a video about the Kickstarter that you had to produce the book. Kind of share, or at least shed some light on that.
Yeah, that's a great way to get creative projects out in the world. So I did my first Kickstarter also, all kinds of firsts, and I just got my community together of friends and people that I know, family, and everybody gives a little donation and they get a reward. They got a book, and my wife's an expert knitter, so she even knit some hats and dog sweaters and things for people as the kind of the reward for donating.
Right.
Kickstarter was a great way for me to do this project because it gave me a timeline and gave me a bunch of deadlines along the way. So I had that motivation of knowing, that I had committed to doing something, and I wanted to really follow through and meet that, that deadline.
Great. What is interesting to know on that video, you talked about your wife has the ability and the talent, but you have a talent too, right? Don't you make sweaters or something like that?
A little bit, yeah. I can knit scarves and things like that. Yeah, she's amazing. We'll go to like a movie theater, and she'll take a ball of yarn and she'll crank out knit a whole hat. By the time we're done with a 2-hour movie. And
Wow.
what have I just sat there in the dark, so it makes me feel bad. But she's an expert knitter. Yeah.
That's great. So tell us about the Kickstarter, like the some limitations or maybe some challenges that you probably endured. What are some lessons that you learned from that Kickstarter?
Just to keep going, keep your eye on the prize was really valuable for me. I had, in the middle of that, I had my appendix taken out. I got in a car wreck. A gal ran through a stop sign and totaled my car. But I just had that goal in mind, so I kept going for it. And also it was really valuable, I think, to have a community, people that really supported me, that had the buy-in, and they were part of the project from the very beginning, so they wanted to see it come to life. And then now pretty much all my close friends and family, they have the copy of the book too. Yeah.
Okay, so where can we find the book, and where is it available at?
Yeah, it's that Kickstarter is still up. It's kind of interesting to just go back and see the history and see the funny video that my wife and I made. But it's the book can be found on Etsy. It's up there, and then even the public Multnomah County Library. Yeah.
Okay, where can we see more of your artwork?
Oh boy, I just kind of signed up to do a solo show I'm excited about. That's going to be at the Milwaukee first Friday. Every first Friday. I'm going to do the kickoff one, starts May, and that's Friday, May 4th. I agreed to crank out produce about 40 or 50 new works of art. So it's kind of abstract, impressionistic trees, landscapes, and even because it's Portland, I'll probably throw a few birds in there. Put a bird on it. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So how do we stay in contact with you?
I have a Facebook page, and by searching There's Only One You, the book, and then also my website for the art and things like that is bradleyjclark.com. There's a lot of art, so a lot of different things like that, yeah.
Yeah, let's go back a little bit just before I let you go here. So you're working on some more books? Do you foresee more books in the future here?
Possibly, yeah. I'm thinking about, the whole idea of being nice and kind and don't hit and, play nice, that whole thing. And not necessarily, maybe, a little bullying. That's, a lot of people do stuff on that, but just that, be nice and kind and thoughtful and stuff like that. So I'm sort of working on a book like that, yeah.
Okay, great.
That's on the back burner. And then also I'm thinking of more for adults, a book from all the great things I've learned from my wife. I've been happily married a long time, 33 years exactly, and she's an expert knitter. So I'm thinking of a book like, all the lessons I've gotten from a nitwit, or a knitting expert, that is. Yeah.
At least give us one thing that you learned from her, at least one preview to one of the lessons.
Yeah, I always, thought I was the, hot shot, going to do, get up and speak and create great things. And she's just sort of methodically going along, clicking sticks and doing her thing. And now she's an expert knitter, really does what she loves. She gets paid to design and teach knitting. And that's something that's interesting. I think if you just focus on picking what you're good at and sticking with it for a long time through thick and thin, you can produce great things. Sometimes I'm tempted to bounce around and make commitments on different things. But I think it's really important, to say no to things in order to say yes to the things that you really value. So she's taught me that.
Great. So we thank Brad for sharing his story, his life, and also his book. We thank you for watching the show. I'm Charles Shambry again. Have an awesome, awesome day.
Welcome back. I'm Beth Genley, your host. My home club is Toastmasters for Speaking Professionals, and I'm very pleased this evening to welcome James Wantz, who's back again to talk about the Pathways program. Welcome to our show, James.
Hi, welcome.
So, James, I understand that you've been working with Pathways for a while, and you've run into some interesting new developments that are different from the legacy program that make you really enthusiastic about Pathways. Tell us a story.
Absolutely. What I refer to them as is those nuggets, kind of those golden nuggets, some really fun things that I'm finding inside of Pathways that I really am enjoying. The first one that I found inside of the first level. The first level is made up of the icebreaker and then a couple of speeches back to back and then a research project. But the piece that I really liked about that first level is that the second speech is you give a speech, you get an evaluation, and then you do the same speech again. And it had to have been probably over a year that I was in Toastmasters before I realized I could give the same speech again. My mentor said, well, why don't you bring that speech back and work on it? But I never even thought about that. So I'm really happy that Toastmasters has put that concept right into the first level. And then the second level, there's this wonderful piece in the presentation mastery path where you analyze your communication style. And I took their online test and it went through and asked me a series of questions, and I realized that I'm very task-oriented, I'm very analytical, and I'm a very job-centered kind of person. Well, I was having a conversation with a lady that I'm working on a project with, and she was talking about how we needed to speak to other people, about how they were relating to the goals, and she wasn't sure about the vision. And I kept asking her, well, we have this deadline. We need to get something out. We have this deadline. What do you want me to do? And I realized about midway through the call that we were speaking two entirely different sets of language. And it was pretty much a problem. And I figured that out after doing that communication assessment. And once I'd figured that out, it was a lot better at that point. I mean, those are just two of the things that I'm finding that I enjoy.
That's beautiful. So Toastmasters is so much about leadership, and leadership through communication and leadership through excellent speaking skills. So it sounds like they've combined it more so that you were able to exercise some leadership in your interaction with that woman based on what you'd learned.
Yeah, they have. They've taken the presentation and the leadership and kind of melded them together. Because there are 10 different paths, and you choose kind of which way you want to go through Toastmasters. I mean, it used to be under Legacy that you had the communication track or you had the leadership track. But now you've got 10 completely different choices. You can go for innovative planning or strategic relationships or effective coaching or presentation mastery, and every single one of those is different. And I love this idea of picking one that's best going to fit exactly what you want to do with your life, as opposed to having to find something inside of two set tracks. The freedom, I think, is what I'm really enjoying.
That's beautiful. So you can choose to challenge yourself in an area that you don't know much about, or you can choose to get much more richness and depth in something that you... Okay, tell me why you're laughing.
Well, I'm laughing because the first path that I chose was presentation mastery, and I'm comfortable with giving presentations. So I figured if I was going to challenge myself, I had to go with something that was challenging. Well, I hate networking events. I absolutely hate them. I break out in hives. So I figured I'd better sign up for the strategic relationships path, which is about networking, if in fact I'm going to improve at all in that area. And it's just, I'm still resistant to the idea, but I know that this is an area that I need to face. And I can feel, because I can feel that anxiety, agitation already. Networking just does that to me. I just, but it's good.
Knowing that you are such an accomplished speaker and presenter, there's a part of me that thinks, well, now you get to feel what some other Toastmasters feel about learning to present.
I
so
know.
there we are.
I know.
So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really glad you came. And if someone would like to learn more about Toastmasters or get more information about the Pathways program, you can go to toastmasters.org. You can look up a club there. You can learn more about Pathways, or you can dig deeper into Pathways through toastmasters.org. Thank you again.
I used to be afraid of attending networking meetings. I didn't know how to talk to people about my business. I was just afraid and didn't know what to do. Then my wife came home one night and told me about Toastmasters. Her coworker was raving about the benefits of joining. I reluctantly checked out a club near my home. It turned out to be a safe place where I could practice impromptu speaking. It was the best thing for me because in those network meetings, you meet different people from all walks of life. Practicing impromptu speaking every day allowed me to develop confidence in myself. Also, the people there are supportive and encouraging, and we have fun. Thanks to Toastmasters, my business is now booming, and I'm not afraid to walk up to anyone and start a conversation.
Welcome back to the show. My name is Charles Shambry. I belong to the New Horizons Toastmasters Club in Tualatin, Oregon. If you're looking for a club, we invite you. And today on the show we have here Nayely Trujeque. She's here to share her experience, her life with massage therapy. Moonlight therapies it is, right?
Yes.
Welcome.
correct.
Welcome to the show. I'm
Thank
excited.
you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. We've talked on the phone a few times, and I'm glad to see you here on the show. So please share your background with us, because the viewers don't know you. I know you a little bit, but share your background, where you're from, what you do for a living as well. I alluded to massage therapy. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I am originally from here, raised in Portland my whole life. I was in the rental school district growing up, and then right after that, I ended up going to massage school out in Tigard, Oregon, and schooling there was very intense. But it's something you have to do what you love.
Right.
And for me, love is, what I love to do is massage. I love to heal people through my touch.
Great. So how intensive was it? What's intense? What does that mean, intensive?
It means it was a lot of information crammed into your brain in a very, very short time, and you had to know everything in order to not hurt someone. You got to know the body. You got to really, really know what you're doing so that you don't hurt someone, or that you can help someone get out of pain.
Right. Well, what was the most intensive class for you?
Probably kinesiology, where we had to learn the muscles and the actions of those muscles. When I went to school, I had to know 93 muscles in the body to pass my state boards and get licensed, and 88 pathologies. And the pathologies was not as intensive as I thought it would be. It was more the muscles and knowing what they do and how they work that was more intensive for me.
Gotcha. So why did you want to become an entrepreneur? What led you to that point to want to work for yourself?
Well, I used to work for a company. I used to work for a spa prior to that, and the way they did massage was very robotic, and it was just, you have to start this way and you have to end this way, and that wasn't really my style. I'm more of a therapeutic healer than a relaxing massage therapist, and my job is to help people get out of pain. I deal a lot with pain management and rehab work as well. And being at a spa, I couldn't do that necessarily. My massages are very relaxing, but they're also therapeutic, and some people don't know that I'm actually doing treatment work on them, which is great because at the end of the massage, they're completely relaxed and they're fixed, and they don't complain about pain for a few weeks.
So what is the process with it? Because I noticed on your website you have different types of massages and services that you offer to
those are called
people?
modalities, so
Okay.
massage modalities, starting off with Swedish massage, which is a basic relaxation massage just to get, the circulation in the blood going, and help, just help healing yourself and just de-stress. The next one is deep tissue, which actually penetrates down to the deeper muscles, and it's a little more not not intense, but we use a little bit firmer pressure just to get down to the deeper muscles. And one misconception about deep tissue massage is that people think it's painful when in reality it's not. Because we get down into the deeper layers of the muscles, you might feel a little bit sore the next day, but that's normal. That's just your body reacting to the muscle manipulation that we're doing. I also specialize in prenatal massages and deep tissues, which is really fascinating.
Well, kind of going back to why you became an entrepreneur, massage therapy. Why massage therapy? You could have been a doctor, a lawyer, you could have been a singer. You could have been a singer.
I could have been a singer,
Why
but
massage
no.
therapy? Can you sing a little bit?
I can sing a little bit, but not that much.
Okay, not that much. Well, okay, that's fine. But why massage therapy?
Well, when I was in high school, and the reason why I got into massage therapy was because I got sick when I was 16, and I was in and out of the ER at least once a week or more for about 6 months before anyone could figure out what was wrong with me. And during the stresses of all that, I had my massage therapist that I went to. I kind of explained what was going on, and I was in and out of the ER, and she asked me if she could check my stomach, and I was like, sure, why not, you know. The doctors don't know what's wrong. I didn't think she knew what was going on with me, but she had a lot of knowledge, which is what intrigued me into massage. And she told me to go get my gallbladder checked, and sure enough, the next time I went to the ER, had them check my gallbladder, turned out I had gallstones. And I was just amazed at how she knew what I potentially had versus my doctors. And that's really what got me into massage, and I wanted to do what she did. She was my my role model.
Mentor, huh?
Mentor, yeah, to go into massage and start healing people as well.
That's great. I'm sure she's proud of you now, right?
She is. She's very
you
proud.
still stay in contact with her?
Yeah.
Good, good. So what is your overall goal? What is your main objective when it comes to this type of service towards people?
Well, my mission, Moonlight Therapy's mission, is to educate people and let people know that massage is not a luxury, it's actually a necessity. Our bodies need it. It's a maintenance thing for our body. I describe it as we take our cars to, Jiffy Lube every 3 months for an oil change, right? That's a must.
Right.
Why don't we do that with our bodies? Our bodies are like our cars, except we don't take our bodies to Jiffy Lube every 3 months. We need massage at least once a month just for maintenance purposes and to keep our bodies healthy, especially dealing with everyday stress. Life can get a little intense sometimes, and massage is great to de-stress. Also, we're great for massage therapy. We're great for pain management as well.
Okay, so you feel like it's a real need for that. What are some misconceptions you feel like the public don't know as it relates to this type of therapy?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So one of the misconceptions that we often get asked is if during a massage, if we're going to pop someone's back or crack their necks. And we are not chiropractors, that's out of our scope of practice, but we do educate people that we work with the muscles, not the bones. Sometimes you might hear a pop here and there, but that's just, your bones going into its original position due to the manipulation of the muscles.
What's about the cracking the bones out?
Some people are scared of that too, so.
Wait, no, so you said that's a natural thing.
That's a natural thing sometimes when we're doing compressions and stuff, or we're gliding up your back. Sometimes we do hear a pop, or, the client mentions like, oh, hey, did you hear that? And it's like, oh yeah, yeah, your bone popped. But yeah, another misconception, especially in the Latin community, is that growing up, in the Latin community, we don't really see touch or massage as a norm. It's more like a taboo to them, and my job is to educate them that massage is very, very important for them. And
well, I think we were talking about like you feel like some people think it's like you're a witch doctor or something like that.
Yes, because we deal with a naked body or semi-naked body on a table for an hour. People think that we're doing like chants and burning some sage or whatnot, but that's not what we do. We're really here to help focus on your body and help your body get to 100% state.
Great. Are there any other misconceptions you think the public might not know about or have a misunderstanding about massage therapy?
Well, no. The correlation is more about us like cracking people's backs and being chiropractors as well when we're not. Some massage therapists are licensed chiropractors as well, and they can do that, but I'm not. I don't. That's out of my scope of practice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what are some steps that we can take to do some self improvements, some wellness tips that we can take at home, or at least to add to our daily routine related to massage therapy?
Well, my recommendation is to get massages at least once a month for maintenance, and if you're in pain or need any kind of rehabilitation or pain management treatments, twice a month is recommended, unless you're severely, in pain or whatnot. You can come in once a month, that's still good, but recommended is once a month. Also drink lots of water, don't forget to stretch, and my number one rule is water, because most of us are dehydrated and our muscles show that.
Gotcha. I got a question for you. How do you, taking your own advice, how do you do a massage on yourself? Or do you do a massage yourself, or do you have someone do a massage for you?
Yeah, I do. I trade with my brother and my boyfriend, who are also massage therapists, and they
really?
also work with me.
Wow.
Yes, it's a family business. And I don't really work on myself except for my hands sometimes when they get tired, but I trade with them, and I get massages at least once every 2 weeks for maintenance myself, because my job is hard and I do need massages.
Every 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm, every 2 weeks.
So you would think the most you would have is every 2 weeks, and then at the very
least would be once a month.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And if I let it go once a month, it's very rare.
Gotcha. Did not know that at all. Okay. So how do we stay in contact with you, wrapping up here, how do we stay in contact with you?
Well, you can always visit my website at moonlighttherapies.com. You can also give me a call or send me a text message at 971-772-8322. I do reply quicker to text messages, as sometimes I am in massages and can't answer my phone right away. I will have to give you a call back, and I apologize in advance. But yeah.
Well, thank you, Miss Trujeque. We appreciate you coming to the show.
Thank you.
We thank you for watching the show, seeing her experience her life in massage therapy. My name is Charles. Again, we appreciate you watching the show. Have an awesome, awesome day.